When I figured this one principle out, my entire life started to change more than it's ever changed the 55 years previous to understanding this principle. I'm going to share it with you in the next few minutes, and I can guarantee you, if you'll apply this principle, it's going to change your life as well. Let's jump right into it. Here is the principle. You are either operating out of a state of fear or you're operating out of a state of love. And the deeper principle is when you figure out the fear that is driving your life, you will overcome addictions. You will set your intention on what the real life you really want is. You'll get focused. You'll get clarity in that, whether it's starting a new business, building that dream home, living in that dream destination, finding that dream relationship, whatever it is for you, you're going to get clarity in your life. And you're going to come to a place where you can begin to develop a whole new you. And it all starts with finding out what it is you fear that's driving your life right now and causing you to act the way you act. I know what happened for me is I began to figure out my fear that drove me to so many of the steps that I took in my life and the life I lived in general. My fear was a feeling of unworthiness. I grew up in a strict evangelical atmosphere, and we were taught that we're sinners and a lot of crazy things about how we're not worthy. My whole life was a Wayne's World. We're not worthy. I mean, that was me in a nutshell, and it bled into every aspect of my personality. I found myself thinking, I would, but I'm really not talented enough. I feel like I have this within me to share, but I really fall short of being everything I could be in this area. I felt like a failure for so much of my life because anything I did that I didn't feel like I did just right was a failure to me. And I guess I learned the practice of falling forward, and I had some successes because of that, because that's just hustle and grind culture. Hustle and grind culture, by the way, works as long as you work it, as they say in AA. But the problem is, if you keep hustling and grinding, you burn yourself out, and you climb that ladder of success, and you get to the top and you say, dang, this ladder's against the wrong building, and you start climbing another ladder and you go up and up and up, or you're never satisfied. And that's what's wrong with hustle and grind. But I never, even coming to those higher and higher levels, felt like I was worthy of anything I got that was good in my life. And I felt like all the bad that came into my life was deserved, and I didn't see it as much as learning opportunities as I did punishment from source, the divine, from God. And when I figured out my fears in life were all tied to that unworthiness, I began to get really, really free. And I'm not telling you that I don't still struggle with this to this day sometimes. Sometimes this monster of unworthiness rears its ugly head. And I don't know what it is for you. Your monster might not be unworthiness. Your fear might be tied to things that there's a lack in your life that you can't put your finger on. There's some ways that you grew up and were taught about how life works, about how source energy, God, the universe, whatever you want to call it, how all that works, and it's causing you to be driven by or live the life you're living. But when you figure out the source of that fear, and it all comes down to just fear about who you are or who you are not, or the way things are or the way things are not, when you figure that source of fear out, you're going to find freedom on the other side of that, because you're going to be able to let it go. And when you let it go, guess where you're going to start to live? You're going to live in the power of love. You're going to start to live in the power of the real you, your soul, the thing you came to this planet as an eternal being to accomplish. And what I like what Gary Zukav calls it, he calls it the earth school. Here, while you're on the earth school in this body, learning lessons and growing and changing and moving back into everything you are, so you can share that gift with other souls in this universe and share this with the universe as a whole. When you begin to figure that out, you start to get free to fully operate in that most divine part of you, that most connected to God part of you. And when you start to do that, I promise you, my friend, you're going to feel a freedom in your life like you've never felt before. You're going to begin to change it all. And it all starts with learning how to let go of that fear and then start living your life in love. What do you suspect the fear is in your life today? Tell me in the comments. If you need some help working on it, subscribe to the channel below. There's a link for working with me one-on-one if you'd like to talk about that. I'd love to help you on your own journey. But what is the fear today that is holding you back? Do you know it? Maybe like me, it took me a long time to put my finger on exactly what it was and why I was feeling it. And then it came to letting it go. And as we end this video today, I want to share with you a quick practice on how you can let go of any fear, anything in your life that's holding you back. And it's very simple. Here's what you do. Get in a quiet place by yourself, nobody else around. You don't need any music, any distractions. If the music helps you, it's great, but whatever, just get by yourself, close your eyes, and begin to just let yourself feel that uncomfortable fear, that roadblock, that thing that is holding you back. Let yourself feel it fully. What's happened in your life, you've been repressing it, you've been suppressing it, you've been holding it back because it is your fear and you don't want to deal with it and you don't want to feel it, and you think if you feel it, if you're like me, you're an unworthy feeler, you feel like you're wrong to feel it. Whatever it is for you, just let it rise up in you. And then physically try to pinpoint it in your body. This takes a little practice sometimes. It took me a little while. Maybe you don't know where it is. Maybe you feel it as a tension in your heart. That's where I used to feel a lot of my fear. Now I feel it more in my head. It's kind of moved its way up. But maybe it's in your back, in your muscles, in your neck, where you're tight. Wherever you feel it there physically as well as emotionally. Let yourself feel it. Don't judge it. Don't try to figure it out. Don't try to solve it at this point. All you're going to do is just let it rise up and you feel where it is, and then take a few minutes just to release it. Here's how I do it. I picture that tension in my body when I feel it in my head or my heart or in my neck muscles or wherever you feel it. I picture it there. I feel it physically. And then I just picture it rising up from there into my head and then out what we would call your crown chakra, the top of your head. I just let it rise up and I let it go. And the moment I do that, within a few minutes, I feel absolute peace. Why? I've released the negative energy of fear. I've released that thing in me that's held me back for so long. And you can accomplish in minutes what for some people might take years of therapy. And I'm not saying don't go get therapy. You might need therapy, and I encourage you to get it if you do. But releasing that fear is going to help you more than anything you've done to this point in your life, and you're going to find the freedom of love on the other side. Go do it today and see what happens in your life, my friend, and I'll see you in the next video.